What even is the point in learning? This is the question I was asking myself the summer before 8th grade. I had just spent my first year of high school in a normal public Spanish institution. In only 1 year there, I had lost all my curiosity and drive to learn. Classes consisted of a teacher reading from a textbook and not much else. In grade 7, I had gotten straight A's, yet there wasn't a single thing that stuck to me. It had all been taught to me in a very mental, theoretical, and empty way. I wasn't happy at my school, but I had no will to change anything. Now I look back and I understand that I didn't even consider there were other possibilities. I was trapped. 1 week before classes started, I was laying on my bed, scrolling through my phone, losing my time. I didn't want to do anything, least of all, go to school. My dad had had enough of it, and he decided to take me to another school. And thank goodness he did. I was about to have the most amazing 3 years at my new Waldorf school. Waldorf schools, also known as Steiner schools, aim to help develop an all-around healthy and thoughtful child. Their holistic approach to education considers that in order to do so, the soul, mind, and body all need to be taken care for in a child. This is achieved through a well-thought-out curriculum that follows the natural growth phases of the child, giving them what they need when they need it. This means that you learn as you become ready to learn. There is also an emphasis on creativity and physical activity. You paint, you do woodwork, you play an instrument, you take care of a garden. You learn about the world yourself instead of being told about it. There is very little standardized testing, no textbook and small classes. Mine was about 18 students. The schools themselves are beautiful places in which nature spurs out of every corner, almost like a forest. Some people say they're hippie schools, and they're partially right. You won't find screens anywhere. This education was created by Rudolf Steiner over 100 years ago, yet it has remained fundamentally the same. Nowadays, it is present in many countries around the globe. You'll find happy kids running around and hugging trees, whether you go, for example, to Australia, Taiwan, to Brazil, or Spain. In math class, my teacher wouldn't give us the formulas for the problems we needed to solve. Instead, we had to find them on our own. We would start a new topic with a question and spend a couple classes working together to solve it. I still remember the cluelessness we all felt as we were trying to solve this mystery, and the pleasure and pride of having found it on our own. This is what mathematics is really about, solving problems. You learn how to approach an issue, work in a team, and solve it. This can be applied to many other aspects of life. We weren't learning mathematics. We were learning how to learn. And Rudolf Steiner underlined this when he said, "It is important that we discover an educational method where people learn to learn and go on learning their whole lives." Because learning doesn't end at school. You keep doing it your entire life. And problem solving is a multi-purpose tool that will help you succeed in life. A memory I hold very dear is my grade 10 graduation trip. I went to Rome after having learned about the Roman Empire. The small detail is that we weren't allowed to bring our phones to the trip. Instead, we were given paper maps and left free to explore the city on our own means. There we were, 18 students and 2 teachers, visiting a new city in a foreign language with no phones. It was really exciting, and we had one of the best weeks of our lives, discovering all the city's little secrets on our own. This happened because our teacher knew every single one of us very well. She knew she could trust us. Thanks to the fact that teachers stay with the same class for the entirety of high school, we were able to build a deep relationship. And through that trust that was put on us, we were able to learn how to navigate the world. The relationships I had also built with all of my classmates made the experience so much better. This is the part of education that is widely undervalued. We are all humans. We spend a good amount of time in school as we grow up, and we need so much more than knowing that a squared plus b squared equals c squared, or that the First World War started July 28th, 1914, to know how to live in this world. Learning should be fun. I had never been more excited to go to school than when I went to this one. And as social beings, we need the human aspect of it. We need feelings. We need connections. We need time together. And this trip was the peak of it. But at school, we had already spent countless hours together, not only learning, but playing, talking, painting. This is what made me love this type of education. You do so much more than learn. And through that love and freedom that I was given, it was much easier for me to learn. And another way that learning didn't just happen in the classrooms was with all the creative activities we would do. With our hands, these useful tools that make us unique, we learned how to sew, carve, knit, play an instrument, draw, take care of a garden, cook. Through these learning processes, we created ties with the materials. From the wood we turned into a spoon, to the carrots we took care of until we ate them. We learned to appreciate the beauty in the ordinary. Because all these processes take time. In a world in which everything is moving faster and faster, being able to take a moment is truly a gift. You learn to have patience. You learn to have perseverance. You learn to be comfortable in silence, alone with your thoughts. Essentially, you learn to take life slower and the pleasures and skills that come with it. And when we were done, we felt an incredible satisfaction with our work. I still remember how proud I was when I took home my first woodworking project after 6 long weeks of having worked on it every single afternoon. This is a rare feeling nowadays. We've lost the value of doing things slow and well, yet this is how things should be done. Waldorf education also considers contact with nature crucial. And through that contact, you learn to appreciate it. You can see this just by going into one of these schools. They're full of trees, plants, and gardens everywhere. The seasons and rhythms of nature are celebrated through songs and seasonal celebrations. Not only that, but there is a focus on every material being as natural as possible, avoiding plastics and processed materials. In early childhood, children are told stories of gnomes and fairies, personifications of nature's spirit. And as you grow older, you learn from, about, and with nature. This constant contact creates in the child a love and appreciation for it. Empowered by that love and respect, you create habits in the child which inherently include taking care of the planet. Instead of talking about sustainability, you do sustainability. Waldorf education wasn't even created with sustainability in mind. It wasn't even within society's concern at the time. Yet it has shown that it can adapt and educate human beings that are sustainable. In a world full of unsustainable practices, creating systems which don't even consider sustainability, but are intrinsically so, is what is needed. What Waldorf has taught me is that education can be so much more than just the boring part of a kid's day. As Rudolf Steiner said, The heart of the Waldorf method is that education is an art. It must speak to the child's experience. In order to educate the whole child, his heart and his will must be reached, as well as the mind. I went from finding no purpose in learning to my purpose in life being learning. So I go back to the beginning. What even is the point in learning? Well, I say that learning should be an experience that nourishes our being. We have a need to know about the world and how we fit in it. Doing this while having fun and building these unbreakable connections both with people and nature, that's what Waldorf education is all about. Because it is not the education of knowledge, but the education of the being. So today, I take what Waldorf has taught me, and I bring it to you with the aim of making the world a better place. We need problem solving, because we've got one big problem called climate change, and we need to solve it. We need to know how to build connections with each other in order that we be able to cooperate and work on it together. But most importantly, we need patience and perseverance. This is not an issue that is going to be solved from one day to the next. But through educating our future in the right way, we will be able to do this. My teacher always tells me that the most important thing is to instill a sense of hope. So I stand here, hopeful that through education, we will be able to solve climate change. I want to end with the Waldorf blessing that my mom and I would say before each meal. Earth, who gives to us this food. Sun, who makes it ripen good. Dear Earth, dear Sun, by you we live, our loving thanks to you we give. Thank you.